Hi, everyone. I have been putting together or starting to put together a little journal that I'm going to use for my Ko-fi things I'm putting together each month with the little fun packs that I'm mailing out to members. And I thought I would just bring you along because this has just been a fun little process so far. I've taken a file folder and I added one additional crease mark. You know how your file folders typically have the little crease marks in them, or score lines, I should say. And so I made one additional score line. And so that gave me 4 sections there that would kind of curl over. And I added one piece of leftover file folder into the spine just to make it a little bit more stable. It's not extremely thick, just the 2 layers of file folder. And so that's what I've done so far. I chose the size I wanted, which was, ruler here, about 5 3/4 by 8.5. So roughly the size of a letter size printer paper folded in half. I just want to be able to, when I'm making these fun little bits like this, using the things from my little fun packs, I want to have a journal to put them in. And I think it's just going to be fun to fill up a journal this year, starting in January and just going all through the year and building. And we'll be sharing these things inside my private Facebook group, which you can have access to if you become a Songbird member. And so if you'd like to play along with us, I would love that so much. So I took a piece of paper. This is just white drawing paper, comes on a roll. I wanted to use fabric on my journal, so I decided I would give the fabric just a little stability, and so I used that paper. You can glue this on with like a glue stick. That would work fine, but I chose this time to do something different. I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but I used fusible interfacing like you would do to iron and fuse. I don't have it on the edge here, but you would fuse 2 pieces of fabric together. And so turns out that's pretty tight. You can fuse fabric and paper together. So I just cut a piece of fusible interfacing about the size of this rectangle and put it between the fabric and the paper and just ironed over it, and I've got a nice little cover. On the front cover here, I've placed some little bits of fabric. I want to make a little patchworky pattern, so I'm going to be taking this to my sewing machine. I have placed them down with a little bit of glue stick just to hold them in place so that I can sew and they won't move around. I've got another thing I'm going to add to this too, but I'll tell you about that in a second. I wanted to mention that I also took some little leftover scraps, these little bits left over here, and just cut some small bits just to have a fun little piece on the back for absolutely no reason, but just to have a little decoration back there. Once I get everything sewn on, I'm going to be gluing this piece to the file folder cover. And then on the inside of the cover, I might attach another piece of fabric, probably using that fusible interfacing again, and just cover the entire inside with a piece of fabric. I haven't decided that yet. But what's going to be so fun about this journal is a sweet little bird that my friend Janet Nash sent to me. A lot of you know her and watch her channel. She shared a bird from a piece of fabric because she knows how I love birds. And it is so cute. It's a doodly bird. And I'm going to add this bird right here. It's huge. It's really big. It's the size. And it's so funny, too, that it fits. I received this after I had decided on what size I was going to make my journal. And it's so amazing that it fits right on the cover here. After I get these blocks sewn down, I'm going to also tack this bird in place with some glue stick, and I'm going to then stitch all around the bird. And I just think it's going to be adorable. I did take the eyes on this bird were just plain black in the centers there, and so I did take a little bit of embroidery floss, and I just sewed a couple of stitches there to give him little white lights in his eyes. Oh, you guys, I have to tell you about this too. The piece of fabric that the bird was on was a teal fabric. Okay, it was like this, and I cut it out. Okay, so here's some of the leftover pieces. It was on this teal or turquoise fabric. You can see a little bit of that right here as well. And so there's a little bit of teal here, and I did not want to go in there and cut that because I didn't want to weaken the fabric. And then I realized, oh, I have some teal fabric I can put there. And it just looks like it's blending in with the background. So I just love when things like that work out. It just makes me so happy. So you can look for things like that when you have areas you don't want to cut out. Look and see what you can put behind that matches it. So I will get to sewing now and show you what it's looking like as we get further. Okay, I got my journal cover sewed. It's been a couple of days, and so I forgot exactly where I left off, but I know I was going to sew. So I did get it finished as far as the sewing goes. And I just love how it turned out. It's so fun, and it feels nice and textural. It's just really, really, really cool. And then I got the little bit of patchworky parts on the back, which I also love. And on the inside, I chose a blue fabric and a white with a floral print, and decided to sew that on the bottom and make pockets on either side. So just for, something fun. So now what I need to do, and I wanted to tell you about my bird. His little fluff of feathers on the top of his head looked like this. I decided to cut that off because I knew that once I trimmed a little of this, I don't know, I just felt like it was going to just start fraying. So while I was sewing around the bird, I decided to just put in a few pieces of embroidery floss there to remain for his fluff there. And if that starts to unravel, that won't be bad at all. I think that'll be fine. But anyway, I think it turned out really cute. I just love it. So yeah, I have the inside ready to go. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to punch some holes, and I'm going to string some elastic through and make this one of those journals that my pages can slip under. So I've already got a little template made here that goes in the center of the spine area right there. You can see it. So what I did was I marked it so that I could put the holes just below the stitching. Where you put these holes determines how tall your pages can be. So the pages I have here looks like they're going to fit pretty well inside that marking, so that's good. I just want to mark it on the fabric itself. I'm just going to kind of hold it in place. Could probably clip it on one end, and while I'm working on the other end, at least that won't be moving around. Yeah, in fact, I could even clip this in too, because I don't have to go all the way down. I just want to make the marks, and then I'll come back with the crop dial. The hole in the center is going to be where I will have an elastic loop pulling through, and that way I can pull it over the top to keep my journal closed. So what I want to do is get a pencil. I've got a chalk pencil here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see these marks. I may end up having to use black, but I'm just going to color in these dots. I think I can see them. We'll see here in a minute. Oh, I know I won't see it there. That's white. This one is This is a Stabilo black pencil, so that's good. I can see those marks. Okay. I think these will be okay. Let's look at it and see. I definitely see those. I definitely can see that. And those. These are a little bit iffy because they blend so much with the white that's in here. So I'm going to just go ahead and go over those with a little black and see if I feel better about that. Well, not really. It's kind of made a gray color, but that's okay. I think that one's okay, honestly. I have to use my large crocodile to go into the center of that. It's got a really nice long reach, so I can go all the way into the center of my book. That is the benefit of having the larger one. Okay, let's see. I know it's hard for you guys to see what's going on, but I guarantee you it's punching a hole for me. And it's so easy to punch with this one. Oh my goodness. So easy to punch. I have to snip a few little threads, but I think we're good. Okay, now let's do these. Okay, we got 3 holes there. You see them? I know it's hard to see on camera. There we go. There's those 3. Here's this one in the middle, right here. Okay, and I'm going to do this side next. Here we go. Got some little eyelets. I'm going to set those. There we go. Okay, so we got our little closure loop on. It's a little bit loose, but that's fine because the book is going to thicken up a little as we add fun things. All right, so I've got enough threads here for 4 signatures, if I choose to do that many. For now, I've got papers for 2 signatures. So I'm going to just slide those in. Here, this will be the first one. And then this one will be the second signature. Okay. Oh, it's so fun. It's always such a fun feeling when you finish a journal. I mean, it's not completely finished, but it's made, and I love that feeling. So, okay, I've got some blue colored paper here, some music paper that is upside down. Let's switch that around. There we go. There we go. So it was a wide page, music page, and so I folded in the sides on both edges of the paper, so there'll be a nice little flap there to play with. This is the wrapper from a pack of printer paper, and I have 2 of those in here. It was like the bottom half and the top half of this pack of paper, Rima paper. And here's a book page here. It's from a shorthand workbook. And this is a vintage paper, and so what I did was I folded the edge over right here and just glued it down just to stabilize that edge, because you know how sometimes it's so brittle and it will tear easily, so that just kind of gave it some sturdiness. So here's the back piece of that printer paper pack and the other stuff. Okay, this is a piece of painted paper. It was just using up some paint, and I scraped it on and just left it, and I just happened to come across it the other day, so I was like, oh, that would make some pretty book paper. So the other side of it looks like, where is it? This. So it's just paint scraped and smushed on there, and so it's just fun. Then there's a little piece of a coloring book page, which is also here. And it wasn't wide enough to go all the way across, so I'll just probably add something to this page, you know, attach it here to this page. And this is part of a paper bag. That's the bottom of the bag, and this is a little piece that was coming up one side of the bag. I thought, you know, there's no reason to throw that in the trash. I'm going to use it in a junk journal. So I did. And here's the other piece of that coffee paper package that I was telling you about. So inside here, on this painted paper was kind of thin. And so I just went ahead and added a little bit to it. This is a jelly print on a white napkin ply. And so I decided to use that. I've used it in another project before, and I found it and decided I didn't want it to get ruined. I wanted to go ahead and use it. And then on the other side, I put a napkin. So that's how my little book is looking so far. And I'm really excited because I'm going to put, I think I said this at the beginning of the video. Like I said, it's been a few days, but I'm going to put the things that I'm making over on my Ko-fi page. I'm sending out these fun little packs of just fun little bits and pieces to create with. And I've already created a few things. You guys might have seen the video where I made this little guy, the little snowman tag and the little pocket that I created. And so just stuff like this is going to look so cute in this journal. And this is what I made it for, to be able to save and to use some fun things. Here's a little to-do list that I put together. I just think it's just so beautiful. And it was just from a notepad, and then adding on some little doodled flowers that I made on a piece of a magazine page. I mean, that's magazine color right there. So you guys might remember when I made that. So then I've got little things like a guest check that I covered in a napkin, and a little altered card that I decorated. And these things are just going to be adorable on these pages. I can't wait to play and start attaching things in here. So this little pocket is real sweet with a ruffle, a fabric ruffle, and some little pins with beads on them. I just love it. So these are the fun things that are going to be housed in this little journal. So if you guys haven't come over yet to my Ko-fi page to check out my new tiers, please do so. I think you would really enjoy it. I made all of these fun bits, and I still have this much left over to play with in other projects. So I'm just tickled about that. And I've got a new pack going out soon. This is February's, a little sneak peek at February's pack. I'm not going to show every item, but it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. So I want you guys to come check it out and come play with us. We are already having so much fun. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys, and I will see you again soon in the next video. Take care, everybody, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.